here's Brody Brazil.
In case you hadn't heard, the Women's Professional Baseball League, the WPBL, is kicking off in May of 2026. They've already had their draft, and I've got two main feelings about this endeavor. Number one, hope. I'm certainly hopeful for it. I'm rooting for it. I do think that it's kicking off at a very opportune time. But I also have a significant amount of worries, and logistically, it's not the idea of this or even the execution, it's more about the logistics of this, the possibility of this, what it takes to run any professional sports league in 2026 and beyond. And this stadium site that they've chosen in Springfield, Illinois, I was not aware of this. This was not one of the initial details. Now it's come out that the league is going to play all of its games at Robin Roberts Stadium in Springfield. And unfortunately for me, that goes on the list of worries, which I'll get to in just a second. Let me first step back and remind you what the WPBL actually is. 120 players were just drafted in November of 2025. Kelsey Whitmore is the number one overall pick. The league begins in May of 2026. It's only going to last 7 weeks. So as much as we'll play this up as some big undertaking about a hard season that's got to be pulled off, it's 7 weeks. It's mostly weekend games. There's only 4 teams. And there's that one centralized venue. I know you're going to see a team from New York and Boston and Los Angeles and San Francisco. That's great, coast to coast. But they'll be playing all their games in Springfield, Illinois. There's no travel. Nobody's going anywhere. The entire league is based in Springfield. 7-inning games, 15-player rosters. They're trying to keep this economical here. Just 2 games per week, both played on the weekend. They'll be using aluminum bats. The players were paid by their draft position. Each team has a $95,000 salary cap, meaning that every player is going to earn in the range of $3,800 to $6,300 per player for their 7-week contribution. Underpaid, yeah, obviously, but this is what it takes, the finances, to get a league up and running and started, and you do need some momentum like this. Let me run through a quick set of hope and worry. I worry that in starting a women's professional baseball league, that the best pipeline of available players might actually have more previous softball experience, and softball is just more established. Softball has been more competitive for a lot longer in the United States. And so I feel like maybe the best pool of players for this league is either just committed too much to softball, or they don't want to transition to baseball. They don't want to try it out. Look, we're talking about similar enough games where there should be some crossover, but just look at pitching alone. Underhand versus overhand, like that's a big deal, not to mention dimensions of the bases and everything else. So again, I worry that for this league, the pipeline just won't be there because the pipeline is just so already established for very competitive women's softball. Have you watched a College World Series? Like take that and try and transpose it onto baseball, have them play a different game. It might be a little bit different. I hope that the WPBL is going to make these games easily accessible. Now, I understand they're going to want television money, they're going to want revenue, they're probably going to want some network as their partner, but I don't know what channel you put that on that everybody's clamoring to watch. I'm just saying that one of the greatest things that the PWHL, the PDub, has done is they've put all of their games on YouTube. Women's hockey on YouTube, very easy to watch and find, and sometimes it finds you because you're just on YouTube. Of course, I want to watch the Toronto Scepters. Like, they're right in front of my face. So it's availability, it's opportunity. I hope that the WPBL does that, but I'm a little worried that they're already not going in that route. I worry that teams are connected to these big markets, but they don't play there. So wearing the name San Francisco across your chest, great, but what does that actually mean if you're a baseball team that is entirely operating in Springfield, Illinois? Like, you can't really get San Franciscans interested in that, or anybody from LA or Boston or New York. They're not going to have that tangible connection. They're just not. I also worry that Athletes Unlimited, I go back to the softball connection, Athletes Unlimited, they just started, well, not started their softball league, but they just got a connection and investment with Major League Baseball, and they also just got an ESPN contract to go along with that. So again, the softball route and other things, same time of year, similar sport, this is what you're competing with that makes it very difficult. But I certainly hope that this league lasts long enough and they do the smart things. Like, again, right now it's about doing the smart things that help you survive and sustain. If you don't make it 3 to 5 years and you don't make it over that initial hump, then it's going to be hard to survive, and then it's going to be hard for anybody to ever try or do this again because they'll say, well, WPBL failed. Why should we try? So those were my initial hopes and worries. And then this detail came along that the WPBL would be playing its games exclusively at Robin Roberts Stadium in Springfield, Illinois. Never been here, seen photos of it. Yeah, this is just a kind of a dingy satellite view, so there's nothing sexy about this, but it gives you a lay of the land. It's right next to a high school and train tracks. And if there are suburbs of Springfield, Illinois, yeah, you're about a mile and a half outside of the central core. This stadium opened in 1928, has a capacity of 5,200. It's a poke to center field, 415 feet. Are the dimensions out there to dead center. It has hosted minor league levels of professional baseball over the years, single A and double A over the decades, but it's been a while. In recent years and decades, it's hosted more high school and college summer league baseball games, but the park seems well kept. It's available. Like, I know that's a big part of this too, for the WPBL to say, hey, we need to take over a baseball stadium for the month of May and into June. You can't just roll into any town and do that. There's got to be something open and available, and this one was. Again, it's about 1.8 miles from downtown Springfield. They are adding an LED scoreboard for 2026, right? They've got to do something to modernize it, to upgrade it, to make it feel a little bit more appropriate for the purpose here. And Springfield does have a history with women's professional games. I think the first paid women's professional baseball game happened in 1875. So there's a sentimental connection to Springfield as well. But here's the problem. Here's the number one problem with Springfield as the home for WPBL: geography and location. I'm going to circle Springfield right there on the map. I'll do St. Louis down here in blue. I'll do Chicago up there. I'll do Indianapolis. I'll even throw Fort Wayne in there. Hey, how about South Bend, Cincinnati, and Louisville right there? I mean, you are quite a drive from Chicago. South Bend, I guess you go that way. Indianapolis, you go that way. St. Louis is the closest major city to Springfield, Illinois. Louisville, I guess you go up to Indianapolis and over. Fort Wayne down here and over. Cincinnati up there and over. And again, so Springfield is just not, it's not close to anything. And Springfield is not big. I get it. It is the state capital of Illinois. There's no doubting its political influence, but in terms of like people coming to games, atmosphere matters. Environment matters. What are you doing this league for? There's two ways I see you doing this league. Number one, because you can have a packed house, you can create an environment, you can sell a place out, you can do this over and over, and a bunch of people are going to show up and you're like, wow, that's really cool. I want to go see that. The Savannah Bananas, they pack every place they go. And of course they live stream it, and of course they put it on television sometimes, but the atmosphere of going to a Bananas game matters. So you could either do that, right? Like you could pack the house, or you could literally take this stadium and make this a 4-television product. A 4-television event. You've got to do one or the other. If you kind of go half in on the atmosphere and half in on the production, where are you? You've got to be either a really good atmosphere or a really good production. But honestly, the atmosphere helps the production too. Atmosphere matters. I worry about what is this going to look like on television if I'm watching? How does it translate? Again, no knocking Springfield. State capital, population though of only 112,000 people. Are you telling me that 5,200 people of 112,000 are going to be there at a majority of these games? 4 teams, and I forget how many games we said the season was, but for 7 weeks, 14 or so, 15 games, 30, 40 games. How many people are you going to get? I worry about that. 3 hours from Chicago, 3 hours from Indy, an hour 40 from St. Louis, 4.5 hours from Cincinnati, and 4.5 hours from Louisville. Like, it is a hike, and I don't know. I'm not saying who's going to show up. I'm saying who's going to find it overly convenient to be there at this ballpark and create the atmosphere. So I don't know what choices they had. I don't know what other options they had. Maybe the deal was just too good here. Maybe financially this makes a ton of sense. I don't know all the answers, but I do have the question of why here. Wouldn't it have been great to see them pick a home somewhere in Southern California or somewhere in the New York greater New York area, or somewhere where you think, okay, we can draw crowds here. And even if that one neutral venue, a neutral site, I'm okay with that. I understand that for a year one of operation. That goes with what I'm rooting for the sustainability and existence here. But choosing that first year, I get it, Springfield, Illinois, you're kind of central in the country, but you're also kind of in the middle of nowhere. So we'll see where this goes. Again, I'm saying all this from a place of rooting for it. If I sound like I'm complaining, it's because I want the best for this. I'm not trying to add on to criticism. I'm trying to add to the hope that this actually is able to survive. Let me know what you think about this in the comments section below. Also, a thumbs up while you're down there. Helps me, the video, and the channel. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I would love to see you back here next time.